What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch review for you. So today we are talking about the new OPI and Barbie collaboration nail polish collection, which I am incredibly excited about. Before we get into the details, if you haven't heard of OPI, they are a mainstream nail polish brand. They're available internationally and all of their polishes are big three free, meaning they are free of 3 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. So they just released this collaboration that came out just in time for the new Barbie movie. We've got 9 brand new nail polishes. It's a mix of creams and shimmers. And I have to say, I'm a very big Barbie fan, so I was very excited to see that there was a little nail polish tie-in. But yeah, let's just dive right into the swatches, then we can talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the collection, pricing, availability, all that good stuff. So roll the swatch footage. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today, it's the Orly Bonder base coat. So we'll start off with this shade Bon Voyage to Reality, and this one is a really light cream shade. I almost want to just call it an off-white. There's just the slightest hint of like a pinky beige coloring in there, but for the most part it kind of just looks like a softer, slightly off-white cream shade. And I have to say, I was pretty impressed with the opacity here. I started off with 2 coats and I feel like that did actually give me full coverage on my short nails, but of course you can see just a slight bit of sheerness when you're looking at it in like HD video. So I did end up doing a 3rd coat for the camera, but honestly I would just wear this one as a 2-coater. I thought it was really smooth and creamy. I like this soft color. I always like these very slightly off-white shades because sometimes you want to have like a nice palette cleanser on your nails, but you don't want to do something that's too starkly white because then it kind of looks like whiteout on your nails. So I feel like this is just the perfect color for that, and OPI makes them really well. Next up we have the shade Every Night is Girls Night, and this one is a champagne sheer shimmer color. So we've got this champagne colored shimmery base, and then we've got a bunch of hex glitters in here. So we've got plain silver metallic glitters, we've got a few sparse holographic silver glitters, and then we also have some smaller iridescent glitters. So it looks pretty sheer on the nail. You can see there's that little shimmer running throughout, and we also have that sparse little glitter with all the different types in there. So here's what it looks like as 3 coats. Honestly, I don't think my camera did this one justice. It's pretty fun in real life, and I think that the glitters catch the light a lot more beautifully than they look on camera, but I do think that these types of polishes are more meant to be toppers. So every single shimmer polish also has a coordinating cream base color. So I did pair this one over Bon Voyage to Reality, and I feel like you can see what's going on in it a lot better. I think it looks really gorgeous as a topper, and I feel like all of those glitters really come alive, but I think they would be even cooler over a very dark shade. So definitely something I'm going to be experimenting with, but yeah, my camera doesn't do this one justice. I think it's really pretty in real life. Next up we have the shade Feel the Magic, and this one is a medium light pink cream shade, and this is just your standard basic cream color. When I applied the 1st coat, I thought the coverage was pretty impressive, but I did apply a 2nd coat and I think that one leveled out really nicely as well. One thing I love about OPI's formula is it is very self-leveling, so even if you apply it a little bit sloppy, as it dries it is going to even out on your nails. But I thought I could really just use a 3rd coat in here for whatever reason, and when I applied that 3rd coat I felt like it ended up looking a lot lumpier. So I'm not sure why that happened. It might have been user error, but I feel like I would just wear this one in 2 coats, but I wasn't as impressed with this formula as I was with the others. Moving on, we have the shade Best Day Ever, and this one I have a feeling it's going to be controversial because it's a bit of a frosty finish, and honestly I love the way it looked in 1 coat, but I also wanted to try it as a full coverage manicure. So basically we have this super frosty icy pink base color. It has a little bit of that streakiness to it, and then we also have some iridescent glitters running throughout. So they kind of shift based on how the light hits them and what color they're over, but on their own they definitely give like this sort of pinky orange coloring, and then where they hit the light you can sometimes see a little bit more of like a yellow, even purple sometimes. So it's pretty funky. I ended up getting pretty nice coverage in 3 coats. You could still see the visible nail line, but I feel like it's very faded and blurred into the background there. So I think this is as full coverage as this shade is going to get. But again, I did like the way that it matched the pink shade, so I decided to try it as a topper as well. And I thought it looked really pretty as a topper. So again, I think this is one that I would be curious to try over a darker color, but I do like the vibe that it gives over this pink. I know not everybody loves this sort of frosty, chunkier finish, but it does give me a little bit of that like 80s, 90s Barbie vibe. Moving on, we have the shade Hi Barbie, and this one is another pink cream, but this one is definitely more of a medium pink. It's a really saturated color and it's definitely very vivid, but it's not what I would call a neon. I think this is just kind of that classic pink Barbie color, and the formula was incredible. I ended up getting perfect coverage in 2 coats. I feel like this is also just a classic manicure color, so I always love when OPI comes out with it because I always know it's going to be a good formula. And then we have its corresponding shimmer. This one is called Welcome to Barbie Land. This is actually what I'm wearing on my nails in the intro and outro of this video, and I love this one. It's like this super rich pink shimmer, and there's so much going on in here. I feel like all of that glitter, sometimes it looks a little silvery, sometimes it looks a little bit more pink, and the coverage was really impressive. Did need 2 for full coverage, and again, we just have that classic Barbie color. It's so sparkly, it's so fun, so I definitely loved it. I also wanted to try it over the Hi Barbie color, and I thought this was a really interesting look for it. Because that Barbie shade is slightly lighter of a pink, it actually lightened up the color of the shimmer as well, and I think this is an absolutely stunning mix right here. Next up, we have the shade My Job is Beach, and this one is sort of a medium sky blue cream shade. Again, just that classic OPI formula that applies so smooth and so well. I ended up getting perfect coverage in 2 coats, and it's really beautiful. I did notice that these cream shades do dry very, very slightly darker on the nail than they look in the bottle, but they're still very bright, and again, like I've been saying, they're still very saturated and fun, but they're not quite neon, so just keep that in mind. And then we've got the shimmer version of the blue, of course. This one is called Yay Space, and this one honestly feels like the blue version of Welcome to Barbie Land, but it's definitely a more icy kind of color. So it starts off pretty sheer, but I was able to build it up to full coverage in 3 coats. It actually started out looking a little bit silver, but as I built it up more, it got more and more blue on my nails, but you definitely see a strong icy color to it. There's a lot of silver tones in there, but then you can also see a little bit of that soft blue. It almost looks like a cloud blue kind of color, and even in 3 coats, I did notice that there was a little bit of sheerness where the light wasn't hitting it, so I feel like it's just a sheer color in general, but then when you have the light hitting those shimmers, it makes it look a little bit more opaque, so hopefully that makes sense. And then of course I had to try it over the cream finish, My Job is Beach, and I think this totally changed the way that that shimmer looked. It definitely darkened it up a lot, but it also made that base color look a lot more silvery and sparkly, so definitely another fun combination. And then the final shade of the collection is this yellow cream. It's called Hi Ken, and it's a super bright fun color. Now I always like to remind you, when I'm working with yellow polishes, I find that they're probably the most difficult to get opaque. So for the most part, I find that it takes me a minimum of 3 coats for full opacity on yellow nail polishes, and a lot of brands do not get it right. OPI is actually one of the brands that I would say in general does a really good job making a good yellow. And again, I had that experience where I feel like in 2 coats it did look fully opaque to my eyes, but when I saw it on camera it looked like it was just a little bit patchy, so I ended up putting on a 3rd coat for the video. But I feel like in real life I would potentially wear this one as a 2-coater, but again, I do have short nails, so it might be because of that. You might need more coats if you have longer nails, but it was a really beautiful shade. So here's all of the polishes together. Definitely a strong focus on the pinks. We've got a little bit of blue, and then we also have that bright yellow right in the center there. But I actually really love this collection. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I thought it was really fun. I thought the color story was really fun. I liked the mixture of shimmers and the creams to go with it. I loved having those corresponding colors that worked really well together, but I also think there's a lot of opportunities to mix and match here. So those are the polishes, and I absolutely love them. I am a big fan of OPI. I think this collection was definitely made for a mainstream audience. There's nothing like especially new or original going on here, but we have a lot of classic shades, and I love that most of the creams have a corresponding shimmer, and I think that's also a very mainstream thing, because it's like if you want a matching mani-pedi and you want to have shimmery nails and cream on your toes but you want them to match, then you already have this pre-made combo. Or if you wanted to do a manicure with a cream polish but you wanted to have a little accent nail that was shimmery, that kind of feels like the way that this collection was made, so I definitely like that for what it is. I also think it's absolutely hilarious that the only cream polish that didn't get a shimmery companion is the Ken polish, especially because all of the marketing for the movie has been like, and he's just Ken, so like Ken's just sitting in the corner by himself. I also felt like this collection was very reminiscent of the first OPI Hello Kitty collaboration. I think that must have been back in like 2015, but we had a very similar color story, and I loved that because I'm also a very big Hello Kitty fan. I love to see this Barbie resurgence. I'm so excited for the movie. But yeah, in terms of formula, I did really enjoy these. I think OPI just has a very classic, easy to use formula, and I think their shimmers were really nice too. You can definitely wear them a little bit on the sheer side, but you can also build them up, or you can wear them as toppers, and I think that works really well too. I know for those of you who are really into the more indie style nail polishes, these mainstream releases can start to feel a little bit boring with the more simplified finishes, but personally, I love them. I think they're always just a classic, you know? So now let's get into pricing. These polishes come in the standard OPI 15 milliliter bottle. We do have a special edition cap, which is white and it has the little Barbie logo on it, which is very cute. And we also do have a wide flat brush. It has a straight edge, but I think it's still very easy to work with. And these polishes are available wherever OPI is sold. I got mine from Beyond Polish, which is a nail polish retailer, and there the bottles retail for $8.75 USD each. And I also have a discount code, so you can use the code KELLI to get 10% off your order there. So I will link that down below. You can check them out if you're interested. But yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this collection? What do you think of the little pairs of creams and shimmers? Which color is your favorite? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you a Barbie fan? Leave it all in the comments. We can chat about it. And if you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my royal astronomer Amanda M, as well as my cosmic admirals Rocket Man's daughter, Paula, Ken, Rosie, and Courtney. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact, I want to pose another question. I feel like I've been asking a lot of them lately, but I feel like it's just fun, and it's also fun when the question can tie in to what the review is about. So today's fun fact question is, what was your favorite childhood toy? So let me try to think of mine. I mean, in terms of Barbies, I did have one Barbie that had brown hair. It wasn't Skipper. It was like regular, like Barbie size. She was just brunette, and she was my absolute favorite, and I always played with her. But I also had like a little set of those, you know, those little mini plastic dinosaurs, and I cherished those. I remember specifically with the dinosaurs, it came in this like little plastic case where they were like separated into, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like a little carton where they had where like they originally came in, and I would keep them in the carton when I wasn't playing with them, and each one like had their own spot, and I didn't want to mess them up, so I was very careful with my plastic dinosaurs. But yeah, so those were my cherished childhood toys. I'll try to think if I had any others, but yeah, I want to hear what your cherished childhood toy was. Leave it in the comments. We can chat about it, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.